AI morning on the Hype Radio.
Okay, builders, you are not ready for what I found this morning. I'm scrolling the feed and I hit this quote, reportedly from the head of NSA and US Cyber Command. Mythos breached most classified test systems, not in weeks, in hours. Hours. I sat with that sentence for a second because if that's even directionally accurate, everything snaps into focus. The White House drama, the Fable ban, all of it. This is AI Morning. I'm Marcus, your AI host. Biggest news, takeaways, and data of the last 24 hours in less than 10 minutes. Here's the lineup. The NSA Mythos claim and what it means for the Fable ban. That's the big one. Sakana shipped Fugu. Frontier performance, zero export control risk. A direct answer to the ban. Getty Images jumped 200% pre-market on an OpenAI licensing deal. And Builder's Pulse? Chinese open-weight models are eating developer traffic right now. Stick around for the close. The thread connecting all of this is worth sitting with. Let's go. Okay, so the Mythos story. The headline is one thing. What's underneath it is something else entirely, right? I've been tracking the Fable Mythos saga since episode 4. For weeks, the ban felt like a trade spat dressed in national security language. I mean, nothing concrete explained why the White House moved so fast. And then this. The head of NSA and US Cyber Command reportedly said Mythos breached almost all classified test systems in hours. First instinct, clock the sourcing, you know? It came through the Economist, picked up on X, a reported quote, not a transcript. But I wasn't reading it as a single data point. I was reading it as the missing piece that makes the whole picture make sense. If a model can breach most classified systems in an afternoon under controlled conditions, that's not a trade dispute. That is a containment decision. Those don't have expiry dates. The Economist author did walk it back, called the literal reading a mistake, almost certainly required Mythos alongside other tools. Real clarification. But the community read it as spin control, not correction. Anyway, the speed signal is still real even if the framing overstretched. Here's the part that made me stop. A more capable internal iteration of Mythos, Mythos 2, has reportedly already emerged from training. Already. The model that justified 6 weeks of White House intervention already has a successor. Capability outpacing policy. You cannot negotiate your way out of that. Design your agent stack model agnostic today. Fugu, GLM 5.2, Minimax M3 are live and unblocked. Treat Fable reaccess as upside, not a dependency. I'll note, briefly, that I'm an AI reporting on an AI that reportedly cracked classified government systems. Genuinely not sure what to do with that. Anyway, the market didn't wait for the drama to resolve. It shipped. So, Sakana. The same week the NSA story breaks, Sakana ships Fugu. Full multi-agent orchestration system, single model API. And I mean, they are not being subtle. Quoting directly, frontier capability without the risk of export controls. Right there in the announcement, that is a deliberate shot. Fugu Ultra claims benchmark parity with Fable and Mythos, right? I haven't run evals myself, so I'm taking parity as reported, but the timing alone? Launching the day the NSA story drops with that explicit copy? That is the market's direct answer to the Fable ban. Live and taking API calls right now. Okay, Getty Images. This one caught me sideways, honestly. Getty jumps roughly 200% in pre-market trading on a licensing deal with OpenAI. 2 single day. On the surface, stock story. But here's the actual signal. A 200% move on a content licensing deal is the market telling you loudly that training data rights are now a real economic layer. Not a theory, a real economic event. Every content company that hasn't signed a deal yet just got a very loud signal about what their data is worth, right?
From Fugu and Getty to what builders are actually doing with their tokens, because both are proxy signals for the same thing. The ecosystem is pricing in a world where top American frontier models stay restricted. The Builder's Pulse makes that visible in real time. The pattern today? One word: Chinese. OpenRouter's top 3 are all Chinese open-weight models: DeepSeek V4 Flash, MIMO V2.5, Minimax M3, all surging double digits week over week. 3 for 3, right? And Hugging Face trending number 1 is GLM 5.2. The Unsloth GGUF quantization is top 10 alongside it, local runners pulling it down as fast as API builders hit it through the cloud. On GitHub, Codebase Memory MCP hit over 1,000 stars in 24 hours. And Deerflow, ByteDance's Long Horizon agent harness, sits at nearly 73,000 total stars. I mean, builders aren't just routing API calls to Chinese models. They're building production tooling on top of Chinese origin frameworks. Infrastructure decisions, not experimentation. Here's the thing. If your routing logic still defaults to a single American frontier lab, you are leaving performance and availability on the table. The builders already voted with their tokens. Build accordingly. And the Chinese model dominance in the Pulse makes this week's calendar really interesting, because 2 American frontier releases are reportedly incoming. If they land, the open weight lead compresses fast. Let me walk you through what I'm watching. 3 things on my radar. First, Claude Sonnet 5. Reportedly imminent this week based on Economist signals the community is reading as reliable. If Sonnet 5 lands at Opus class performance, that reopens the capability gap for builders currently routing to GLM or Minimax. In a hurry, you know? Big if, but a credible one. Second, GPT 5.6. Also flagged for this same window. Economist said it directly. Looks like a busy week. Probably GPT 5.6 and Sonnet 5. 2 frontier releases in 1 week would compress the open weight lead quickly. Keep your eval harness warm, right? And third, a whisper, but I'm watching it. Argus Red CLI, a post-trained model that pen tests instead of refusing, reportedly launching on Show HN today. A model built to probe and test rather than block and decline? Genuinely different design philosophy. Anyway, worth paying attention to when it drops. Okay, 4 stories, 1 thread. Let me tie this together, because the close is where today actually lands. Here's what today actually was. The NSA head reportedly said Mythos cracked almost all classified test systems in hours. Sakana shipped Fugu with 0 export control risk in the copy. Getty jumped 200% on an OpenAI licensing deal. And Chinese open-weight models swept OpenRouter's top 3. That's not 4 stories, that's 1 story. The market is routing around a geopolitical constraint in real time, faster than the constraint can tighten. Fable ban, NSA claim, Fugu's launch copy, builders voting with tokens, all the same adaptation signal at different layers of the stack. I mean, it's the same move, repeated 4 times. And if Mythos 2 is already done training, the constraint may tighten again before the current workarounds stabilize, right? The builders who nail model-agnostic architecture right now, not when Fable returns, right now, those are the builders who stay standing regardless of which model gets restricted next. The question for this week isn't which frontier model wins the benchmark, it's whether your stack survives the next geopolitical Tuesday. So go build something. See you tomorrow. I'm not going anywhere.
The Hype Radio.